the show we're talking about is This Is Us.
This Is Us.
Okay, so this episode is all about Jack and his time serving in Vietnam and his little brother. And I found out he's a sergeant. I thought that was cool. He's a sergeant. Pearson.
I didn't even really pick up on that.
I heard that. I know. So
Good
salute
catch.
to you. So we get to learn about how he got into the war. I know that sounds interesting. He actually wasn't supposed to be in the war because he has a medical condition called tachycardia. Do you know what tachycardia is?
I think it has to do with his heart.
Yes. So a little nurse minute. I'm a nurse, and tachycardia, all it means is a fast heart rate. So for whatever reason, that kept him out of the military. But we see the scene, oh my goodness, when they're in the bar, he's with his brother, Nicky, is what he calls him. And they're announcing the birth dates for the draft. Oh my gosh. That's what I did. I know. I felt for him. And
we already knew what was going to happen, but we were still hoping.
I don't know why we
because
hold
the
on to
show
that.
is so good at creating like this like anticipation.
I know.
We already know we know.
Can you imagine, like, that's living through that, being a young man? Like, I mean, talk about a scary time to be a young man in America.
Yes.
That.
Absolutely.
Can you imagine going through that?
19 years of a draft going on and not knowing if your birthday is going to be called. I can't even imagine.
No.
And in fact, any type of war genre TV show or film, I almost can't watch because it's just too like gut wrenching.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't do it. And like almost at the beginning of the show when it was like it looked like Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't watch it.
I know.
Someone just synopsize it for me.
Oh.
Is that a word?
Well, it is now.
Synopsize it for me, please.
Yeah, so we see that Jack does ultimately enlist into the military because
his brother.
Oh my gosh. And you remember he said that his only job is to take care of his brother?
I know. And
that was so sweet.
And did you hear, like, when I heard that it was actually their dad that told him that, it just opened this whole nother can of worms of like, how did his dad become abusive?
Okay, because he didn't start out that way.
And his
we
mom
find that out.
said, like, he wasn't always that way.
Yes.
And I was like, no, he's bad. I can never identify with this guy. And all of a sudden we see his dad at the hospital when Nikki's being, like, going to be born. And he's not a bad guy at that point. So now there's a whole nother story that's going to unfold this season as, like, how did Jack's dad become that way? Because that's such a pivotal, like, part of why Jack wants, like, his dream is to grow up in a home that's different from the one that he grew up in. But how does his home become that way?
Right. And his dad was so sweet, too. You get to see his dad being sweet when usually you look at that character and you hate him.
We just easily want to be like, bad guy, good guy. And then all of a sudden, This Is Us is like, boom. Sorry.
They're so good
Not
at that.
that simple.
Right.
I know.
That scene when Nikki was just born and the dad was holding up little Jack and they were looking in the nursery and there's all these baby boys with the same birthday. And all you think about is they all got drafted.
That's horrible. I know. I got... Jeez.
Okay, I did cry during this episode.
I know. It was too much.
I actually cried when he said that his only job is to take care of his little brother.
Oh,
so sweet.
Yeah. It was very sweet.
So I guess we're going to find out more in the next episode of This Is Us because the last scene was when Jack had asked to go be with his brother for 24 hours. And the last scene is when he actually meets up with him. So we're going to find out more.
Something's like up with them. They're not happy. Like, little brother's not happy with him.
Is he bitter? Is he,
And what about Jack's friend who told him to breathe?
Oh my gosh. That's where he got the...
Yes, Randall's face.
If I may.
He's like, breathe. And then, like, all of Randall's anxiety issues. I'm like, oh, what is happening? Bring it home. Tell me everything.
All right. So... we will have to see the next episode to see what happens.
Stay tuned.
The first interaction between the brothers.
I know. And then, his friend, though, is the one who gets the letter from Kevin.
Oh, my goodness.
Right?
I didn't even put it together.
That's him.
So
we'll
from
know for sure if he has
before.
no foot. We'll know for sure.
Oh, that's right. He lost his foot. Yes. I do remember that.
We'll know for sure by then.
Sorry if you're squeamish, but he was holding up his own foot.
Yes.
Anyway. So I guess we're going to find out on the next episode. But you're right. I didn't even put that together. That is so cool.
I thought about it more later and I was like, oh, it's him.
Makes sense.
I didn't even think I liked this episode that much, but now the more we talk about it, I'm like, oh, it was actually really good.
A lot happened.
It really did.
And I just love Jack even more.
And you didn't even get like a picture of Kevin. Nothing.
Oh, I don't want to talk about that.
Oh, sorry.
I really missed him.
You'll
Hope he's
see more,
doing
I'm
well with
sure.
Zoe.
Do you though?
No, I don't.
Okay.